All right, marketing in public day 31. Now, today we will talk about ads and basic marketing. This is our journey on getting 1,000 Twitter followers. We went from 222 to 239 followers and a lot of tweets, a lot of tweets, and some actually blew up and they were liked quite a lot, like 10 likes and spread around a lot. It's pretty fun because I didn't really think it would amount to anything. I was like, I used a lot of time on this, but let me just try to put it out there. And it was actually going like semi-viral, at least for me. Chris Pintea also started doing marketing in public, so we now have our second one that's doing marketing in public. Our Twitter ad seems to be working. I'm getting more users and also non-bots, but I'm not sure if it's that or it's a smaller accounts blowing up. A lot of people are seeing like 50 or 100 or 200 or 500 people increase in followers doing just a day or a few days. And I'm not seeing that. I'm just seeing 20. So it might just be that. I think the newer accounts, they're getting a lot of traction. Another thing is I'm reading the Personal MBA. I'm reading pretty slow as it's in Spanish, and I'm making notes in Anki. It's a great book. You should definitely read it. Everything about having a business, running a business, solopreneur, entrepreneur, it's covered there, and you can just go and read whatever subject is there, and it's like a very good basic introduction to it. Now, I will just go making like a short summary of this. So the marketing part. Now, marketing is defined as an art of science of making you visible. This is distinct from sales, which is more focused on closing the deal. Now, the reason why marketing is important is because we have a very limited attention, especially of the right people, the ones we want to sell to. And the author gives like an example that you can take a skateboard and run it as a pink bunny in a costume to get attention, but that's not worth anything. At least when he wrote it, because now we have TikTok, so things have changed quite a lot. Now, how do you attract attention? Well, the first thing is to think about it is that it's not a popularity contest. The objective is to become profitable. So you probably heard of Dan Bilzerian or whatever his name is. Now he runs some companies, but he barely sells anything. He have a lot of trouble monetizing his audience, even though he have millions of people following. So it's not about popularity. Like you have some of the smaller accounts that are really good at selling. So yeah, what is it about? It's about attention for the right people in the right manner. Now, how can you get more attention? You can become more interesting. I'll add you can also be different, maybe better, simpler, easier, future filled, especially if you're talking about an MVP, a small business or something like that. Now, you can also try other different channels, like let's say you're just cold emailing and that's not working. Well, you can maybe do LinkedIn or you can do Twitter or something else, right? Now, people have a very limited attention and therefore also very limited reception. And the thing to think about is that the perfect shoe for one is the worst shoe for another. This is like a paraphrased quote from Carl Jung. You don't want to target everyone because then you'll target nobody. And people filter really hard to stay sane. But fans are very open. For example, he gives example J.K. Rowling. Before that was a dumpster fire. But you know, every time she released a book, everyone was just want to read it. And I think it's the same that's happening in Twitter. Like when you have like a good reputation on Twitter, people are very fond of what you're doing and they will share a lot. So I think you can kind of replicate this, like you have your fans here on Twitter. Now, the other thing is to think about reception is that mass-produced content won't work very well. The style, the form, and it has to be personalized. And the most extreme example that the author gives is handwritten mail often even gets opened by the CEOs. So if you actually want to get someone, you should probably make a bot that makes handwritten mails and put them together, because that's probably gonna work. That's an idea I'm thinking about making now, making a bot that just makes handwritten notes. But anyways, this was my summary of the first pages here in this chapter. If this is interesting, you can follow us here. My DMs are always open. And see you guys tomorrow. Cheers. Have a happy Sunday.